Today I'm going to be talking about problem with your starter and how to diagnose the problem. Okay, so the first thing before you think that your starter is not working, you have to make sure your battery is 12 volt and your battery is fully charged before you can come to the conclusion your starter. And things that you're going to see, you turn your ignition and nothing happening, the engine don't turn. Okay, so the first thing we're going to check if all, you might not have a multimeter with you to check your battery voltage, but you can check that your lights are bright and stuff like that. And it's very important that when you're turning your car, you can check the light in the dash if they dim. You see, if they don't dim, that means probably you don't have a connection to your starter. And the next thing, check your battery connection, if your ground is good or your ground is not good. So you have to fix those problems, okay, before you move to your starter. Okay, so now you establish you have a good battery, connection is good, battery voltage is good. So then what we have to check now, if the starter is getting power. But before your starter get power to your starter, it has to go through so many things. Okay, number one, it has to get the power from your fuse, so you can check your fuse if your fuse is good. From the fuse, it's going to go to your ignition. So your ignition and your fuse is going to send the power to the relay, which we say is the starter relay. So you're going to have one power from your fuse coming direct to your starter, and you're going to have a ground. Okay, and you're going to have one wire is going to your starter, not directly to your starter. The other wire is going to go to your neutral switch. We're going to talk about that later. And the neutral switch is sending it to your starter. And when you turn the ignition send power to the relay. Relay send the power to the neutral switch. Neutral switch send the power to your starter. So what you're going to do in that case, you're going to try to put your car in neutral. Okay, if it doesn't want to start in park, try it in neutral, because Mazda has a problem with a lot of this neutral switch. Sometimes you got to start the car in neutral, it doesn't catch. Some cars like that, or when your neutral switch is going. Okay, so if you put the car in neutral, it doesn't start in neutral, then we know that, okay, we don't establish is your starter problem, because we have to do the test before we know if it's your starter. Okay, so what you're going to be doing, your fuse is good. So the next step, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be checking if you get the power to the relay. But a lot of people mightn't familiar how to check that, so I'm going to explain it anyway. So you'll have to have a test light, and you will unplug your relay from your fuse box or relay box, whichever one it is. You have to locate it first. You have to check your owner manual, and you're going to be checking for power and ground with the ignition key on. So if you have power and you have ground, then you know from here it's fine. Okay, from here it's fine because you have power and ground. Now, next trick you can do, you can try to jump the starter from here, because remember, one wire here is going to the neutral switch to the starter. You can try jump it from there. If it doesn't start, okay, you keep going. So now what you're going to be doing, you're going to need two person. You're going to take a test light, someone crank the car from inside like they want to start it, and you want to check if the ignition signal is coming. So you establish the ignition switches, the power is coming to your relay. So now what you're going to be checking, you can put your relay back, and you take your test light, and just touch on the pin that the one's supposed to send the power out to the neutral switch. And if you establish the power going out, okay? Okay, now I'm going to talk about the neutral switch. The neutral switch is a safety device on each automatic car. Manual car is the next switch. But the neutral switch is the switch that you could only start your vehicle in park or in neutral. You cannot start it in drive, reverse, or force, or third. Okay? Because what it does, it prevents you from starting in drive and reverse. You don't want to start your car and then it just take off on you like that, right? Neutral is not going to go anywhere, and park is not going to go anywhere. Alright? Okay, we established that. So now we can check to see now from the neutral switch if it get to the neutral switch or you go to the starter. But what we can do before we do all of that, okay, but that's just like troubleshooting if you have no power coming to the starter. Or if you have access to your starter, you can go direct to your starter. There's a second wire here. This is the wire that engages the Bendix. Okay? And you have to see that someone turn the key again, you disconnect this wire and you check if power coming there. So if there is no power coming, then you have to do all the troubleshooting like I was explaining before. But if there is power coming to this wire, you establish your ground is good, then you know your starter is no good. Alright? So let's say you have no power coming here still. So then we have to trace back the power to your neutral switch to see if your neutral switch is sending the power out. So that's a little bit of diagnostic, take some time. So you are going to go from your relay, getting the signal from the ignition switch, then your relay sending it out to the neutral switch, but then now you're not getting power from your neutral switch to your starter, then you have to replace the neutral switch. So what you can be doing before you replace the neutral switch, you can send direct power to your starter to see if your starter is good. So if you establish your starter is good, then you have an electrical problem, the wire somewhere is broken, but you have to establish if the neutral switch is sending the power out. So you know your problem is going to be from the starter to the neutral switch. Okay? So in that area you have to go to the neutral switch and you have to check your wiring diagram from there. Okay, so it's in section. So let's say you turn the key and there's no signal coming to your relay. So you know the problem is within your key to the relay. Okay? Or if you have problem, it's not coming out from the relay to the neutral switch, so you know the problem in that section. So it's easy for you to diagnose the problem. So if all the signal is coming to the relay, all you have to do, but the signal is not coming out, all you have to do is to change your relay. Starter relay. Okay? So now we establish everything now is good. The power is coming. So your starter is no good. Alright? Voltage is good. But when you're going to replace your starter, let's say some people go to the scrap to buy a used starter or something like that. They could give you for the same year, especially Hondas. You have to be careful how you buy your starter because I had some issue with that. Someone installed a starter and was the wrong one. It's look everything the same, it fits, but it's the wrong one. Because you have some starter is turning left, right, left on, and some is turning right or counterclockwise and clockwise, okay? So let's see this one here. You see, when you replace a starter, you check the old one. If it's free spinning on this side, you have to replace a starter that's free spin on this side, but it's locked on this side. Okay? Because you have a starter that's free spinning, is going counterclockwise, and what he did, he installed a starter that's spinning the opposite side. And it was a hell to find that problem. We go in the timing belt, we do so many things before we can figure out that the starter was not the right one. Alright? So remember, that could cause you a lot of problems if you have a starter that's spinning on the opposite side. Okay? So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how you can test a starter out of the car. If you buy one from the scrap, you want to check it because you don't want to put in the starter and then you have to remove everything in the back, okay? So we're going to show you how to connect it. And a starter, you have to make sure you have a good ground, okay? Because sometimes your ground may be your problem. And it's basically like little stuff inside. Sometimes if you're really desperate and you're really stuck somewhere, if you have access to your starter, you could just tap on it, because most time it's the brush that is finished, it's worn out, so it's barely making contact. And sometimes you tap on it, you give it a little contact, and you can find your way to the garage or save a towing or something. Okay, but when you start to make that tick 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 sound, you must know that try to change it, it's gonna left you somewhere. Alright, so now we're gonna be checking the starter. How to check the starter. So I have a ground here from the battery. It's a negative. You can put it anywhere on the starter. Anywhere you want to put it, as long as you connect a good ground. And then we have the positive. It's gonna go here. It's gonna go at the end there. And then this, you need this. The second current is what's coming when you turn the key, because it's gonna go through all the process. You're gonna go through the relay, go through the neutral switch, and then it's gonna come the power here. Okay, and this is what's gonna spin your starter here, the gear. So this is the bendix, and you have a fork and you have a gear inside here. So when the starter is, when you engage it, your flywheel is gonna be here. Flywheel is a big thing that has teeth that's gonna mesh with this teeth here, and that's what crank your engine. So when you start your car, this one comes out, okay, and this teeth meshes with your flywheel, and that's turn your engine. And when you release your key, because the starting on your ignition is a spring loaded, so it's when you have to put pressure to turn it. And when the car starts, when you release it, what you do, you kill the power to the starter. You don't want the starter to keep cranking. So, and this comes out when you're starting, and when you release the key, it go back in. So there's no contact, but your flywheel is gonna be spinning close right around there. Okay. So this is what happened. So I'm gonna give you the second power. So I'm gonna put the clip here, and all you have to do is to hold it tight and just give it a second power. See what it does? It comes out. See, when it comes out, it's engaged the flywheel, and that's crank your car. And when you take the power key off, when you release your key, when your car starts, it's go back inside, and this here is finished work until you're ready to start your car again. It doesn't do anything else, just to crank the engine to start your car. Alright? So that's how you diagnose car starter. And like I said again, very important you get the right one. And most time when you hear click, 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 is your bendix. Okay, your bendix is not pushing out the gear, so it's gonna spin here, it sticks, you know, and that's a brush problem. So the two main problems you're gonna have is your bendix, and you have your brush or your armature inside is burnt or something like that. Okay, but 99% is your brush that is worn out from all the torque, because this here, I don't even know how much torque is carry, but it have a lot of torque to turn your engine. Okay, it's very, very strong. Okay, and it's been, I don't know how much RPM. I couldn't tell you the RPM because I have no idea about that one there. And this, yeah. Alright, so that's how you diagnose your starting problem. And always make sure you have a good ground. Subscribe to my channel and look out for more interesting video. And I hope this can help you. Okay, bye.